Well, on the US All Spot, we have been witnessing quite an interesting situation here since the beginning of the week as we have been buying the US All Spot. There was no point we were thinking of selling, and we had structures that we were using to guide our trading activity. And I shared with you on Monday that we took advantage of some buy positions here to added more positions at the breakout of the $71 area before we begin to see selling pressure taking us out of that position. And throughout the course of yesterday's trading session, we saw how price action fell into a choppy situation around this area, dropping back into our key level for the week just around that $70 area, and the appearance of buy pressure above the structure was a clear sign that we might likely be seeing a trend continuation to the upside. And during the live session yesterday, we were around this point when I told you I'm already in the buy position, and I told you all that we are going to be looking out for more opportunities at the breakout of the $71 level, or if price comes back to retest the structure, we will be capturing that move to the upside. And that was exactly what happened here. And if you are taking advantage of these opportunities, well, the first one will have given about 60 pips and the second one gave about 30 pips in profit before this whole bearish momentum began. So for those who had been part of this profitable journey, well done to you for being on standby to have caught that move. As at right now, if you had moved your stop losses accordingly, you must have been taken out at worst case scenario break even if you moved it to your entry point. So well done for being on standby to have caught that move. Now that we are going into the New York session today, what is going to be our plans? What are our expectations based on this current market structure? Well, if I zoom into what has been going on here since the beginning of the week, you would acknowledge that price action has remained above our week's key level at this $70 mark. And you know how we do it whenever we identify key levels for the week. As long as price action remains above the key level, we continue to look out for patterns and structures that will support the idea of buying. And if you look at the US All Spot here, price has been trading above that $70 mark, giving us signs that buyers still have a say in this particular market. Now, if I zoom out further on the 1 hour time frame, remember at the beginning of the week, we were able to acknowledge an ascending channel after connecting the series of higher highs and higher lows, and this started a couple of weeks ago, giving us a clue into how strong the buyers are. And for the fact that price action remains above the support line of that ascending channel, we have no other choice than to continue to look out for more opportunities to buy the US All Spot. So now zooming into the current structure here, so I will just zoom things in so that you can see things more clearly. The situation here following the impulsive bullish move from that $70 mark area, as you can see, and since price tested the $71.40 level yesterday, we saw this whole consolidation phase, bringing price to respect the support line one more time, which was followed with this impulsive bullish move to the upside. And in fact, I had a buy stop order above the $71 area to capture that move. And currently I'm running with about how many pips now? About 22 pips in profit at this point. And for those who are taking advantage of this buy position after the rejection of this level, in fact, I got some traders who took advantage of that area around this point. Well done to you guys for being on standby to have caught that move. And for those who had missed out on this opportunity, let's see how we can maximize the potential of this bullish move for today. Now, the first thing I noticed here this morning as regards to this current structure was these lower highs here. And I connected the series of lower highs to give me a descending trend line within this whole choppy situation that was going on here since the later part of the New York session yesterday. And with the breakout of the structure, it's for me a clear sign that that trend line was no longer strong enough to negate the bullish attempt, and there is a chances that price will continue to the upside. And there could be some retest of structure actually before some buy pressure resumes. So I'm still going to keep that idea open, and I want you to do so as well. So even if price drops back into this area, it's still going to remain bullish as long as price remain above that descending trend line. So we continue to look out for more opportunities if drops into that structure. But if price action does not drop and continues to climb up, since we're already profitable on the US all spot so far this week, we could afford to have a buy stop order above the $71.40 level to capture that bullish move to the upside, while we also look out for more opportunities to maximize that move at the breakout of the $71.80 level, which happens to be the highest level where price action has been good this week. So now for those who are still fresh in taking any position here, well, I would just suggest you hold on for something like a breakout retest before joining any bullish move at this point, as you will need some confirmation to join that one. So that is how we are going to be buying the US all spot for today on the on this 1 hour time frame. So you do want to mark these levels out on your charts. The first one, very important, is this descending trend line, as you can see here. Then the second one is going to be the $71 area. As long as price remains above these structures, we shall feel comfortable buying the US all spot. Now, in as much as we're looking out for buying opportunities in this market, we cannot ignore the potentials of sellers, as we have been seeing some simple structures here that is screaming selling at one point, as we need buying momentum to break out of the structures to negate that idea of selling. But as long as price remain below the structures, we still want to keep the idea of selling open to as well. So what are we going to be looking at here for us to consider selling the US all spot for today? Well, remember we had an ascending channel, and of course we also have the support line of that ascending channel figured out here. So what we are going to be doing to sell the US all spot is to see price action breach the support line. And one interesting thing about the support line here is the fact that it also shares a confluence with that $70.75 area. So for me to start considering selling the US all spot today, I want to see price break through the trend line and of course the $70.75 level to start considering selling the US all spot. Now, if price drops below the trend line and the $70.75 area, remember we are not getting too excited here. We want to remain patient, waiting for confirmations to happen, which definitely will show up on a much more lower time frame. And to do this, we scale down into the lower time frame. It could be your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes time frame to look out for signs that buyers are finding it difficult to climb back above that trend line, and this would reflect on the chart as a retest of structure. It could be the retest of the trend line or the retest of the $70.75 area to look out for that opportunity to sell. And in fact, if this bearish momentum continues to the downside, we have the privilege of maximizing the potential of this move, as we have a couple of key levels to guide to add more position if price action breaks through that structure. We also have the key level for the week at the $70 area. If it breaks down the structure to the downside, we'll have no other choice than to add more sell position to our existing trade. But I doubt if a sell position will happen at this current market structure. But if it does happen, let's be on standby to catch this move. But at this point, we still remain bullish as long as price remain above that ascending trend line we identified earlier. And I told us yesterday, I reminded us that the OPEC Plus will be having a meeting today, which is coming up later today. And it's a 2 days meeting. It's coming today and tomorrow. And everyone in the market is looking forward to what the outcome of that meeting will be. But there is a general consensus that there might likely be a cut in oil production, of course, the OPEC Plus have been trying to manipulate prices to increase the demand for oil artificially, and having a target of $80 mark at their radar. We are likely going to be expecting a oil cut, and we have been seeing some traction in anticipation of this event, which we are seeing right now. So let's continue to hold on to this bullish bias on this current market structure. So that is my view here on the US oil spot. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section. So I will be taking the next 10 to 15 seconds to see if there are any questions, and if possible, use that time to mark out these levels on your chart or screenshot my screen if you want to.